Blackwell.
Mr. Chairman, could I have a little time for a point of order on this before I start my comments?
Go ahead.
Okay, so stop my clock, please.
Well, you go
Whoever.
ahead and talk.
Here's the point of order. Breland did not, they have messaged me, they did not know about the meeting today until yesterday, which, you know, they say no one told them about it, which is not fair. They don't even live here. So I think they deserve the chance to present their case before you move to just go with D.R. Horton as you were heading this morning. You know, I think the appearance of this is not good, if that they were not notified until the day before when they live out of town. And they obviously are interested. They have expressed their interest over and over again. The president called each commissioner, apparently, and the president is off hunting for 10 days. This is Easter. I think it's not fair, not good. Does not look good. It looks like the fix is in if they were notified the day before that there was a meeting. So I just wanted to put that out there as a point of order. Okay, so.
Teresa, I'm happy to address. I mean, Wes, what was your correspondence with them? I mean,
Well, that's a speech. It's not a point of order.
I can't hear you.
I mean, that could be a question. It's not a point of order. It's not parliamentary procedure for a public speaker to go. But if you want to do it, Commissioner, we can. But that's not a point of order.
I'm happy to.
Nor is it a point of clarification.
You know, I mean, I would say the plan that was presented last night, and I haven't talked to the president. We didn't hook up. We didn't connect today, but it was not following the master plan.
Right.
In any way.
Not at all.
So.
Neither does this one at all.
I'd say theirs follows it even worse.
Theirs was even worse. Well,
I'll forward it to you.
yeah,
Teresa.
I still think they should have got a chance to
Well,
present
again,
it.
but I mean, we've talked about it for a month. I mean, it's.
Yeah, that's right, Commissioner. And, you know, earlier in the month, I've emailed all the CAD files, topo surveys, boundary surveys, wetland surveys, and as recent as last week, I spoke to a representative of a company they were partnering with who absolutely knew about the meeting today and was excited to be coming and present to the meeting today. And so, you know, I don't know where the miscommunication is, but I think we've been very clear from our end what the expectation was, and I think the board made that statement loud and clear from the dais the last time we had this discussion, that April 6th was going to be the day.
April 6th. Mr. Chairman, if I might, before we go forward with Teresa.
Yeah, go ahead.
Teresa, he did call me yesterday, and I was appalled. I said, you've got to send a team here. Tomorrow's the day.
Yeah,
I told him, I like your language better.
Right.
I like the fact that you're going to live with the master plan. Well, he said, well, you know, I've got commitments. I can't make it. I said, well, send some of your teammates. Oh, we can't make it. We're busy. You know, a $35 million offer on our property, it's been in the media, it's been on the radio, everyone's talked about it, we've talked about it. Everyone knew April 6th was the day. Well, yesterday afternoon, he sent something out that is all residential. Remember, I didn't want any residential. This is,
Oh, yes, I remember.
This is all this is the Breland. This is
right.
what they sent essentially.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, well, I'll send it to you. It's all residential with one little corner of 54 acres for job creation. Remember, it was supposed to be 636 acres for job creation. And it got whittled down, and it got whittled down, and the compromise, John likes to talk about compromise. So Breland's offer that they sent last night, haphazardly, is the worst thing I've ever seen. I would never support
Well,
this. Never.
it was no notice. I mean, it was like immediately they had to send
Everyone knew, like the Geico owl. Everyone knows.
Well, I just wanted to pass that on because I think we should be fair to them.
And Jeff,
All right.
you know, we can be fair, and then we'll let her talk in these seconds.
You're willing?
There's no, excuse me.
I'm just trying to hear what you're saying.
Okay, I'm talking to Jeff.
Oh, okay.
There's no secret that it was a bait and switch. What that land was acquired for was jobs, period. And that's what was given to taxpayers when they put their money. There's no question of what that land was acquired for. Now give her time.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to thank Commissioner Bender for coming out for Beulah residents today, and saying that it's important what we want there. And I agree with him on how to proceed with this, to sell the residential and keep the commercial for now. And I also appreciate his note, I just said that. Very nice to Beulah residents. I might argue that we should not sell the retail mixed-use town center to the Sterling D.R. Horton team. The plan Sterling developed over 2 weeks is awful. While they did not have much time to prepare it, it does indicate their approach to planning. As the youngest of their group said to me after the meeting this morning, I'm old school. I would say it's more like outdated, with old and debunked planning concepts illustrated in their plan. Thankfully, we already have a master plan developed with lots of community input and incorporated into our land development code. That is the starting point, not this plan, this terrible plan by Sterling. The plan, they showed us their project. There were shopping centers that they call town centers. Their plan labels a small green space as a town center. A town center is not that. What it would be is a center to our community with anything that any small town would take for granted. It's not a Costco, and the planning concepts were horrid. The parking is out and exposed. It's supposed to be in the interior of the building. The connectivity is terrible. You'd have to, zigzag your way to get from 9 Mile to Frank Reeder. They put, at the most beautiful amenities, they put apartment buildings up against it. And townhouses right up.
Your time is up, Teresa.
Right up to the administration.
You have to wrap it up.
So let's sell that town center retail area to a developer that understands what a town center actually.
Teresa, would you be opposed to Section 8 and low-income housing on that property?
No, I would not.
Would
no.
you would support that?
I'm all in support.
You would?
And yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna support that.
our thing over the years.
I'm gonna see how many low-income
And
D.R. Horton can build. Yeah.
I want the workers there to be able to live
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm saying. The
That's what
servers
I
and
want.
the dishwashers.
And I
Yeah.
want them to have better jobs
Yeah.
than warehouse workers.
Thanks, Teresa, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna support
Thank you.
that too. I'm gonna support
Yeah,
tax credit and.
We
some-
don't need 100 acres of warehouses.
No.
That's going to be automated.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Thanks, Teresa. All right.
thank you,
Commissioner
Commissioner
McGotch, thank you. No, we're gonna support that low-income housing there.
No,
All right.
Did you want to ask me something?
Oh, no,
good.
you're fine. You go ahead. We have any more speakers? No, that's it. No. Jeff?
All right.
Yeah, you do whatever you want to do.
Well, look, this has been a 2.5-decade evolution. A lot of people with a lot of foresight 2.5 decades ago, including Jim Cronley, including the Chamber of Commerce at the time, worked with the Navy to get this property. It was a long slog, I'll use that word. And this board put a lot of faith in that effort and a lot of money behind it. And we spent $18.5 million building a flying field for the U.S. Navy in Santa Rosa County to get the property. From the first minute that I campaigned for this job, and I live right across from the field, I recognized the value of having high-tech, high-quality jobs. I saw what Navy Federal was doing. I've seen what it does to other communities, and I always supported jobs out there. I understand there are differing opinions, even in my own subdivision, even among my neighbors, and of course, in the greater Beulah area. We went through the master planning process. It was very contentious. We acquired the property, and we've done everything right. We've compromised. We've worked with the community. We've worked with Navy Federal, and at every turn, the amount of that property that was supposed to be all for jobs got shrunk. It's just shrinking. It's shrinking and shrinking. So the Breland offer, I guess you could call it that, or their presentation last night, is down to 54 acres out of 636. And it's surrounded and engulfed by residential with a small, tiny little retail. It was a non-starter. It would have been dead on arrival. Maybe that's why they didn't show up. People that show up for a reason, people that don't show up, there's probably a reason. With all that said, we've been talking about this for a long time. We've had compromises. Meanwhile, as I've said over and over from this dais like a broken record, this economy is changing. That you cannot keep printing money. You cannot keep inflation. I mean, there's going to be a reckoning. It's coming. I don't want to be having this conversation a year from now when interest rates are 10%. People can't understand why eggs are now $15 a dozen. And, oh, by the way, why didn't you dummies sell OLF8? Well, here's the thing. The minute we made those compromises and we were going to do a mixed use and everything like that, my whole perception changed. Now it's a liability, and we're sitting at 15 million of taxpayer money, 15 million into this. We have an opportunity here for $42 million. We can grow something that's very nice. Will it be what John and Teresa want? Will it be what I want? Of course it won't. We can limit the amount of housing that's on there. They've already agreed to that. We can do deed restrictions. In their latest deal, there's also the opportunity for us to buy back 100 acres of it, subject to the negotiation, so that we can get a Triumph grant and we can create some jobs on the field. 100 out of 636 is better than 50 out of 636. I wanted to, remember, I'm the guy who wanted it all, but I'm trying to work a compromise. Meanwhile, we will build a tremendous amount of retail there, restaurants, amenities. There will be some space there available. I've looked at their plan. They have a small space up on the far right. They could work with the school board, potentially build a school out there. I know my counterpart on the school board is very interested in that. I'm certain that they would entertain that. So look, there's never going to be a perfect deal. The porridge is never going to be less hot or less cold. It'll never be perfect, right? But this is $42 million on something we owe $15 million on. We will achieve a very nice profit for the taxpayers, over $5 million for each of our districts. That's a lot of sidewalks, roads, stormwater repairs, traffic. So we'll be second guessed no matter what we do here, but I think we'd be making a tremendous mistake if we kick the can any further. We can enter in negotiations.